It's win or go home. It's all or nothing. The first race of the knockouts is here, and we are in Spain, in Catalonia. It's gonna be 50% distance, and one team between F1 Poland League, TF1 Territorio F1, and F1 Simu will go home after this week, and we will only have 5 finalists. But we are, as you can see, the tires that the drivers are using at the moment are intermediate tires, and there's a little bit of rain coming down on the circuit. But before we go much further in the session, let me introduce to you my guest tonight on commentary. Please welcome Benjamin Cole.
Hello everyone, as always I'm Benjamin Cole, and I hope we will have a wonderful night on the track tonight.
So we'll see what's gonna happen, but if you're seeing some all the footage and the image that are coming from the track, it's all due to our broadcast director tonight, and the broadcast director tonight is Alessandro Pietragatella.
Good evening, everybody.
So with 13 minutes and 40 seconds to go, and this little this light rain that is coming down on the circuit, we already have some time on the timetable. 1:29.7 with for both TF1 sides and Rally Mons, only 4,000 of a second between them. Then we have a 1:29.9 for Lauda and a 1:31.0 for Nico, while it looks like TF1 Albon was able to rejoin the lobby at the moment, and he is back in. All the other drivers are still without time, but I'm looking at the timetable. We have a 24.8 in the first sector for the Mercedes of Gae, who have a little bit of traffic ahead, and it's a McLaren, so it should be the leader at the moment. TF1 Science, Antošik coming on the finish line with 1:31.4, is actually in P5. Oh, there's a spin by F1 PL Mentos at the exit of turn 9. Is spun, he lost the rear of the car, but managed to rejoin the track, and it looks like there's no damage to his car.
And CCG was also on CCJ, sorry, was also on the gravel 10 seconds ago in the sector 1.
So drivers are still trying to find the limit, and the new limit is the 1:29.605 set by TF1 Nico, that is now ahead of all the rest of the team. Of the drivers, just 7 cents of a second on his teammate TF1 Science, while it looks like TF1 Albon still got some problems in rejoining the lobby, and we'll see what's going to happen from here till the end of the session. Anyway, and F1 PL6 sets the new fastest lap of the session. It's the first one going under the minute and 29 with 1:28.9. Voitas is in 7th, 1:34.1. CCJ, very high time before, almost 2 minutes, 1:58.9. So we have still Albon, Mentons, and Gae still with no time set at the moment. Albon is trying to rejoin the lobby again, while Stig is the fastest driver at the moment, but he didn't manage to improve in the first sector. In the first sector, he is almost 1.5 tenths of a second slower than himself, while he can see Nico is improving in the second sector. Oh, we see a yellow flag in sector 2.
That was CCJ, I think.
It was CCJ, and also Mentos again. Mentos again have lost the car at turn 9. And he's been overtaken by his teammate Stig.
Montos really seems to have some problem in the rain at the moment.
Oh, Rally Mons improves himself of 0.3 of a second, and with 1:29.4, he's now up into first row in second place behind Stig, but he's almost half a second from the poleman at the moment. Lauda is back on track, still on intermediate tires. Antošik is trying to improve. He's just slightly faster than himself in sector 2, 28 thousandths of a second in that sector. Let's see if he can improve at the end of this lap, while CCJ is up into 7th place, 1:31.1. Antošik is coming on the finish line out of the last corner, and he does not improve.
He's improving his own lap, but he didn't gain any position.
Okay, so it's 1:30.2. As you told me, he improved his lap, but he is still in P6 at the moment. Albon is on track at the moment. Still Albon and Gae without a time. And Gae is coming on the finish line right now.
Rally Monster is improving from 2.5 tenths on the second.
Yes.
Lap.
He's improving, but it should be still not enough to beat Stig. No. He's coming down the finish line again a yellow flag, and again Mentos.
Again, but he broke his front wing this time.
This time he broke his front wing, only 12 cents of a second of improving from Rally Mons. Still 1:29.4, still in second place. Oh, and there's a disqualification from the session for Mentos. It's incredible how Mentos was struggling at turn 9.
Well, I guess his car was really oversteering in this corner and he just lost it every time.
And we'll see what's gonna happen. Anyway, we see there's Albon, who have just started his first lap. Oh, and he almost lost the car at the exit of the Renault corner. But let's see the first sector of the McLaren TF1 driver, 24.5. He is 1.5 tenths of a second from pole position, and still 24.5 for Rally Mons in the first sector, 33.8 in the second sector. He's even slower than himself in the second sector now, and I don't know if he will be able to improve this time, while maybe Lauda is up into 5th with 1:29.9. No, it's Gae, sorry, 29.9 for Gae, up into 6th place, while Albon is coming on the second sector, setting a 34.0. He could maybe fight for P6 or P7 at the moment. 24.306 for Lauda in the first sector. It's the new record there. 24.4 for his teammate Nico, while Albon coming down the finish line and he's up into 6th place. 1:29.889. Nico is trying to improve. Lauda is trying the same, and Lauda in the first sector, as I told you before, sets 24.5. Sainz sets 24.4.3 in the first sector, but he is a bit slower than himself in the second sector, and he's in second place, 3/10 of a second from Sainz. And let's see what happened. We can see a yellow flag, but the yellow flag has already been removed by the steward. So Stig still into pole position at the moment. Let's see if Lauda or Nico are going to be able, while Stig coming down the first sector is almost on his previous times.
Albon is on the grass at the
Oh yes, I can see him. Nico, 1:28.7. That's the new time to beat. That's the new pole position. And let's see if Stig will be able to improve himself. Stig, second sector.
Goes into the fourth place. Lauda into the third place now.
And now Stig coming down the second sector with Lauda and Sainz. TF1 drivers are doing a great job in this qualifying. Stig coming down the finish line. There's a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. Stig down the finish line. Let's see if he can improve himself. Yes, it is! 1:28.6. And Stig is back on top of the list, while Nico is improving.
Once again. He nearly hit the wall in the sector 3 and kept the chicken. No, I think he will go into the pit. Yes, he does.
Yes, it is. Nico in the first sector is 24 cents of 24 cents of a second faster than before. And in second sector, he is improving. A great second sector. Is the best second sector of the session. 33.2, so he can maybe regain pole position on Stig. Let's see if nothing's gonna happen in the third sector. Coming down the last chicane. On the last corner, the time to beat, 1:28.656. And he does it! 1:28.372. TF1 Nico back on top on the list, overtaking Stig one more time. And looks like Stig is
slower.
not improving. He's not improving now. Everybody is returning to the pit, while Kaisen is trying another lap. A slight improvement for Kaisen in the first sector, while Voitas is on track at the moment, but his current lap, has been invalidated by the game.
And Voitas is really struggling at the moment because you could see him, you could see that he also has too much oversteer, and he lost the car at some corners during this lap, and I think he will go to the pits. Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. So before we face the last 3 minutes of this session, as most of the drivers have returned to the pits to change their tires for the last 3 minutes of the session, we want to remind to the people and the crowd that are watching at home that we are going to create a new lobby at the end of this qualifying session. And of course, the grid will be the same that will be decided at the end of the session. So just stay with us. We will have just a briefly stop at the end of the qualifying session. And then we will be back again for the race. Anyway, 3 minutes to go. TF1 Nico on pole position, 128.3, 2.5 tenths of a second ahead of Stig. Then we have two other drivers from TF1 that are Lauda and Sainz. Then Gae, Rally Mons, Albon, Antoshik, CCJ, Kaisen, Voitas, and Mentes. Looks like, Benjamin, if we take a look at the standing of the qualifying, it looks like maybe the Poland team will be the one who will struggle most to try to qualify for the finals. What do you think?
I think that oh, look, the DRS has been activated, so they should switch to slick tires.
And let's see what's going to happen, because Lauda have already exited the pit and is still on intermediate tires because DRS was still unavailable before he rejoined the track. So I don't know, with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go, if we'll have enough time to change his tires.
He will not. No.
But everyone, almost everyone is in. Kaisen is on super soft tires, so maybe Kaisen can have the big opportunity to gain several places on the grid with that strategy.
Well,
everyone is on intermediate.
Yes, as you said, everyone is on intermediate, so he really got a great opportunity and will maybe fight for the pole position. Stig also
maybe Stig.
Soft tires.
Yes, Stig is switching to soft tires, and we can see the engines going on in the Ferrari box. So we'll try something different.
120, it will be. Well, will not make it.
I don't think. He's exiting the pit lane right now with 1 minute and 5 seconds to go. There's no way he's gonna make it. No way he's gonna make it. For maybe 10 seconds, but there's no way.
So keep an eye on Kaisen because he really got an opportunity now. Oh, but
Sainz sets the new fastest lap with 128.1 and is on pole position at the moment. His teammate TF1 Nico is crossing the finish line right now. And let's see, Lauda is actually in 4th place, 1/10 faster in the second sector, half second faster in the second sector. He's improving a lot and maybe can get pole position, because now every second you gain is important because the track is improving by second from second. Lauda on the finish line. And he does not improve. So he will have a new lap, still 10 seconds to go. Then the checkered flag will be waved on the finish line. Sainz, first sector.
Kaisen.
Kaisen. And Albon. Albon is... there's been a contact. Oh, that is a shame for Kaisen. He was the only one on super soft tires. Stig crossed the finish line. There's no time for him. Rally Mons is up into 4th place, 128.8. Lauda is improving, half a second. Nico. Everything is happening this last few minutes. Nico, 24.4 in the first sector, is not on the same pace of his teammate Sainz. 33.2 in sector 2, while Lauda is not improving. He is 1/10 off the pace, and Sainz is still into first, and Nico is still second. Lauda in second sector was 1/10 slower than himself. Gae finished the session in 6th place. TF1 Lauda is the only driver who will still have to reach the finish line, but he decided to return to the pit while Kaisen is out of the session. But anyway, all the drivers have at least get the checkered flag, so the session is now officially over, the time is up, and so we're gonna just take a look at the standings now. What we can clearly see that the Territory F1 drivers are in a very good position at the moment, because we have TF1 Sainz with the McLaren will start from pole position in the race, followed by his teammate Nico, then Stig, Rally Mons, Lauda, Gae, Antoshik, Albon, and then CCJ, Kaisen, Bottas, and Mentos. The only drivers on which the Poland team can hope for is F1 Stig. Okay, so these are the final standings. We just take a very short break, and then we will be back for the race just in a few minutes. Just stay there. Race is coming here in Spain for the 2019 Formula Europe Championship. And we're back live from Circuit of Catalunya, Barcelona. It's the Spanish Grand Prix. It's the first race of the two knockout races of the 2019 Formula Europe Championship. Tonight, it's 50% race distance, but in 3 days, on Thursday night, it will be 100% distance. And we will see what's going to happen. It's win or go home, as we were saying before the start of the qualifying session. As you can see, there is a brand new sun here, and all the drivers were free to choose their tires, as the qualifying session was on intermediate tires, and it looks like no one is going on super soft tires. We can see Sainz, Rally Mons, Gae, Antosic, CCJ, Kaisen, Mentos and Albon on soft tires, Nico, Stig, Lauda and Voitas on medium tires. So talking about the strategy, Benjamin, what do you think will be the best one? Usually, I've seen before that on this track, if you use the soft tires in the last part of the race, you are clearly faster than the medium tires.
Well, if I was there, I would have chosen the medium tires, because I will be much faster on the last part of the race, but I can understand the choice to start with the soft tires, because they need to be aggressive in the beginning of the race, and most of the drivers will think about creating gap on the first lap and see what happens in the next part of the race with the medium tires.
And we'll see what's going to happen. The race is enough long. 33 the laps of tonight's race here in Catalonia. So as you can see, we have two TF1 drivers on the front row, with Sainz ahead of Nico, then Stig and Rally Mons in third and fourth, second row, Lauda and Gae fifth and sixth in third row, fourth row for F1 Simo Antoshik and CCJ, then Kaisen, Boitas, Mentos and TF1 Albon will start from the bottom of the grid in 12th place after the qualifying session, hoping that Albon will not have any more problems, as he had several connection problems during the qualifying session. We'll see what's gonna happen. All the cars are ready, and the green flag is waved on the bottom of the grid with 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we're about to rock and roll here in Barcelona. And it's go with Sainz and Nico leaving the front row, and Albon with a great start, already gained a couple of positions down there. Nico on the inside of Sainz, and Albon with a great start. He's already up in 8th place, and he managed to get through into turn 1, and he's 7th now, right in the back of F1 Gae, and he's already attacking the Mercedes. Gae going on the inside, defending his position on TF1. Albon, who trying on the outside of turn 4, and now will be the inside at turn 5, and Albon gets through. Amazing start. He gained half of the grid in just 5 corners.
And it's not over yet, because he really put some pressure on Rally Master now.
And we will see what's going to happen. So we have Sainz, Nico, Stig, Lauda, Rally Mons and Albon, who is very close to the summer. Going on the inside, Tetla Kaisa. Ooh, let's see if he's going to make it. Oh, that's going to be amazing. Yes, he got it. Ladies and gentlemen, from P12 to P5 in less than 1 lap.
That's probably
amazing.
One of the best
Never see something
I've seen in my life.
Oh, really amazing. Never see something like that. Sainz, of course, sets the first fastest lap of the race, but we will see at the end of lap 2 which will be the pace of each drivers. So Sainz, Nico, Stig, Lauda is very close to the Ferrari. Then we have Albon, who is already trying to catch his teammate Lauda for P4. Amazing first lap by TF1 Albon, really. Still can't believe to what I see.
Yes, that was unbelievable. That's right.
Amazing start by Albon, and that puts TF1 in a very, very good position. They have 4 drivers in the first 5 places, with Sainz and Nico first and second, and Lauda and Albon fourth and fifth. Between this sandwich is F1 PL Stig, who is actually maybe the ham between the 2 slices of bread at the moment, if you know what I mean.
Yes. And apart from that, Mantos and Voitas are really struggling, because they are 3 seconds behind the group, and Voitas just way too slow at the moment.
Maybe at the moment what Mantos and Voitas can do is trying to go till the end of the race and hoping for something to happen ahead. Sainz with 120.8 sets the new fastest lap of the race. And it's very good to see that we have 3 drivers with the medium tires in second, third, and fourth place. Then there is Albon, who is now very close to his teammate Lauda, much closer than the lap before. Oh, it's very close right now. Let's see if Lauda will get him through, but Albon decides to stays behind. But it's much clearer now how much Albon is faster than Lauda. Going on the outside at turn 5, and of course, Lauda is not making any kind of resistance on it, and Albon is up into fourth. Just remember, he started from the bottom of the grid, and after 3 laps, he's already up into fourth.
Whoa.
Well, I know that you have no words at the moment. I know that.
And now,
anyway,
we'll just be a Stig and we'll get the DRS.
Yes, Stig will have the DRS also of Nico, so he will have the opportunity to defend himself from an eventual attack. Oh, but Stig has made a mistake.
This little mistake, and Albon is just in the DRS. DRS on the level 4, it goes on the outside.
On the outside. Ooh, also on the outside. Let's see if Stig will try to defend. They are very close right there, and there's almost a contact between them. Oh my God! Oh, he's going. Ooh.
We'll try on the outside again.
Again on the outside. If he can resist there, he will have the inside. Oh, maybe a contact. Yes, they touch a bit, but in the end, Albon managed to get through. He's now up into P3. Well, actually, of course, Nico, Stigger, and Lauda with medium tires are just maybe managing their pace at the moment. They know that the tires of Sainz and Albon will lose performance in the laps to come. While Sainz have already gained almost 3.5 seconds. Stig again was very close to Albon.
Albon made a little mistake, and Stig was able to close the gap, but in the chicane, Albon just goes through. And now we'll try to close on Nico.
And Lauda on Stig, they both have the DRS, but Lauda decide to go on the inside. Stig trying to defend. They are wheel to wheel into turn 1, the elf chicane. And Lauda is not through. Stig still able to maintain the position, but Lauda also have to look at his back, because now Gae is very close to him, and Gae and all the group behind Lauda is all on soft tires at the moment.
Well, the group, you could name the group F1 Senior.
Yeah, because we have Gae, Rally Monza, and Antochik. One close to each other in 6th, 7th, and 8th place. Then we have CCJ in 9th. They are all very close. While Sainz is still gaining. Last lap of the race leader, 1:21.0. Nico sets 1:21.5. And let's see what's going to happen at the end of this lap. There is a 1.3 second differential between Nico and Albon. 9/10 of a second between Albon and Stig. 5/10 of a second between Stig and Lauda. And Gae is right there. Let's see what's going to happen at the end of the straight. 1:21.1 for Sainz. 1:21.5 for Nico. Still fourth and faster is Sainz at the moment with the soft tires. While for the moment, it looks like nothing happened behind, with Albon still managed to defend his position on Stick and Lauda, while there's a battle between Relimons and Anton Schick. They were very close at the exit.
Rally Monster is struggling with his tires. He should let Antoxic go at this time. And
I will see. It looks like, yes, he's lowered both his teammates behind, both Anton Schick and CCJ. We'll see if he will receive a team order and let both of his teammates go. While Sainz is still gaining, but it looks like that in this lap he will not gain that much. He is just gaining 1.5 tenths of a second at the moment. And Anton Schick is through. Anton Schick is through at La Caixa. And let's see if also CCJ will get through Relimons at the end of this lap. Now in this sector is very difficult.
And Kaysen has closed the gap between the F1 single group. With the F1 single group, sorry. And yes, I think Rally Monster is really struggling with his tires. Maybe about the temperature or something like that.
Oh, Stick on Lauda! Lauda on Stick, and Lauda is through! Lauda is through on the outside now, up into fourth, so that means now that TF1 drivers are all on the lead of the race. From 1 to 4, we have only Territory F1 drivers. Now Sainz is still lapping on the low 21.1 at the end of this lap, but Nico is now getting a little closer to the pace of the leader as he sets 21.3 on the last lap.
And Albon now just while he's not as fast as he was before.
Yeah.
Probably because of his tires, but. We still have some good pace at the moment.
CCJ is still very close to Relimons, but it looks like he's still behind him, so maybe don't know if he know that if he gets through, he's not gonna have the pace to create a gap. 21.2 for TF1 Sainz, 21.4 for Nico, 21.7 for Albon. Albon now is the slowest driver of the group of the leaders. So maybe now he's suffering a little much more than Sainz with the soft tires at the moment, or maybe he made a little mistake in the last lap. Stig still following. Of course, the fact is that if drivers with the medium tires stays in a close range to the drivers with the soft tires, they surely gonna have the opportunity to fly away in the second half of the race with the soft.
And it looks like Albon just got a penalty, and I was.
Albon 3 seconds.
It's slower than before, probably because he has burned his tires. And look at Lauda, he's closing the gap, and I believe he will try to overtake on the next straight.
We'll see what's gonna happen, because it looks like now the medium tires are starting to work better than the soft tires, while TF1 Sainz is closing lap number 8. He was on a low 21, and now he's getting a little bit slower. 21.5 for the first time now. Nico is faster than Sainz. 21.5 for the leader. 21.4 for Nico, while Lauda overtook Albon. Even Stig. And Albon very late. Yeah, he made a mistake because Albon was watching the Ferrari of Stig right behind, and he got very late on the brakes, and he almost risked to go wide at turn 1.
And Tatalo got it to
Stig on the inside! They almost touch again, but there's a very great battle between them, and Stig in the end managed to get through, but still Gae is very close right there. Albon is struggling, don't you think?
Oh, he definitely does, he is. But he has destroyed his tires. That's the only thing I see now.
Well, maybe the fact.
Slower.
Yeah. Let's see if Sainz will return to the pit, but it looks like he will close one more lap.
Well, I guess Sainz didn't have any
21-3.
problem because, well, he still put some good lap in, and the gap between Sainz and Nico didn't change much in the last few laps. So, but I guess that's just Albon who got some problem at the moment with his tires.
Yes, it looks like maybe the fact that he had to battle a lot in the middle of the group to regain the position starting from the bottom. He used more, he stressed more the tires, and Sainz, his teammate on the lead, got the opportunity to manage their tire better with clean air ahead, without having problems of maybe cooling down his tires after a couple of fast laps, if you know what I mean. Oh, there's a yellow flag in sector 2. Don't know. Really don't know because
I think
maybe. Yeah, okay, yes, was Kaizen from the coordination. They told me that Kaizen was out, so it's lap 10, and TF1 Sainz is still the leader. Let's see, his pace is still gaining on Nico. It's a brilliant pace on soft tire by Sainz, 21.6 in this lap, and not a brilliant lap by Nico, who goes on a 22.1.
And Rodan just put the 22.2, 21.2, sorry. So
21.2. He's increasing on the Stig. Now there are 0.8 of a second between them. Then there is Albon, 0.8 of a second from Stig. Then Gae Antoxic is even not that far from Gae. So at the moment, yes, maybe yes, because Albon is struggling at the moment, and it looks like Gae will maybe have the opportunity to attack the TF1 driver at the end of the lap. We'll see what's going to happen, because Albon actually is for the first time out of the DRS zone with Stig. There is a 1.3 second differential between them, and that means that he will not be able to use the DRS on the main straight at the end of the next lap. Also, if he gain a couple of times in the last sector. Lap 11, conclusion of lap 11 for Sainz. Let's take a look at his pace.
Gate has made a mistake in the chicken.
And lost a lot of time. Now he's immediately followed by Antoxic. Yeah. While Stig now is getting closer to Lauda, but he was too far at the beginning of the straight, so he still have to stay behind. So we are in lap number 12. 1/3 of the race has been completed. We have TF1 drivers dominating the race at the moment, with Sainz in first with soft tires, Nico and Lauda in second and third position with medium tires. Same tires for F1 PL Stig, that is in fourth. Then we have TF1 Albon in fifth place, 1.8 second from Sting. And Albon is really struggling a lot with his tires. He is actually the slowest drivers of the first 6, and maybe more, even the first 9, because it looks like Gae, Antoxic and CCJ are faster than him at the moment.
And Lauda just take a 3-second penalty.
Oh, 3 seconds for Lauda. So we have Albon and Lauda with a penalty, and TF1 Sainz is returning to the pit. And so the race leader is going in with still 20 laps to go, so sure he's gonna go on medium tires to complete the 20 laps remaining. And yes, it is white medium tires, new sets of tire for the race leader, and let's see where he's going to rejoin. He's gonna be maybe ahead of Kaizen. Yes, it is, because Kaizen is coming now down the finish line, and Sainz is ahead of him, and he's 4.5 seconds from Rally Mount, so he will have some space before reaching the F1 Simo group that is actually in 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th place.
And Gay is closing now on Albon again. While on Toxic is still behind. I guess he will not try to overtake Gate, sorry. And they just oh, Albon made a little mistake again. He's really struggling with his tires now.
He's struggling. Who's not struggling at the moment? It's F1PL Stig, and it looks like Stig now is much closer than the lap before on Lauda. And let's see if he will be able to get through. Lauda going on the inside.
Albon is in the pit also. And
Albon is in the pit.
Stig on the inside.
Stig on Lauda on the inside at the last moment of turn 1, and they touch. They touched, and Lauda is forced to go wide between turn 1 and 2, and Stig is up into 2nd place, while Albon have rejoined. That's not gonna be easy because he's behind Kaisen, and he's gonna surely lose some times behind us.
He will definitely. But that was a wonderful move by Stig on the inside.
Yeah, sure. We clearly saw the contact between Stig and Lauda, but it looks like none of them two have received any damage from this contact, so the race is still between them, while Nico is gaining a little bit of them. He got 1.9 the lap before, now it's almost 2.3 seconds on Stig, and Lauda is still very close to the Ferrari. So let's see if the TF1 driver, Lauda, will try to retake P2 on Stig, while Nico is closing lap number 14 with 121.4 against the 121.6 of Stig, and Lauda is very close, while Antoxic is coming back into the pits.
And Lauda skipped the number 5 ERS mode then? But he will not try.
Nah, there's no way.
No.
Or maybe Antoxic can be ahead of Albon. No, it isn't, because Albon is getting through now, and Antoxic is right behind him. So Albon is in 8th place. Antoxic is now in 9th place. 2.6 from the McLaren.
Well,
Lauda still very close to Stig.
Oh, 3 seconds again for Albon.
Oh, and these are 6 seconds now.
And since
that's gonna be tough.
on the inside of Rally Monster, we will not try to defend, of course.
Sainz on Rally Mons, and he get through. He's up into 6th place, and now there are 6.7 seconds from TF1 Sainz to CCJ, that is in 5th place at the moment. Nico closing lap number 15. He sets 21.5 for Stig, 21.9 for Lauda, and Gae is back in the pits on lap 15.
Rally Mons
also Rally Mons, so they are all going on fresh medium tires. So now actually only Wojtas, Nico, Stig, Lauda and CCJ still have to make their stop.
And Albon just...
Lap number...
Oh, again 3 seconds for Albon.
Oh,
penalty,
it's 9 seconds. And these are very hard, because if you add 9 seconds to Albon, he would be behind Gae, he would be behind Antoxic, and he will only be ahead of Rally Mons of the F1 Simo.
Well, if you look closely, Albon is always out of the track limit, so that's not surprising.
Yeah, unfortunately he's struggling also with track limits, while TF1 Nico closing up the lap number 16. Half of the race completed, and Nico 121.3, Stig 21.3. Lauda is the fastest one of the first three drivers. 21-1 for TF1. Lauda, who is getting closer with his slipstream and the DRS on stick, but still have to stay behind the Ferrari, while CCJ is returning to the pit. Of course, it's white medium tires for him too. While F1 Gae is coming on the finish line, followed by Antoxic, then Rally Mods. I do believe CCJ is exit the pit right now, and he's ahead of F1 Simo Rally Mods, and behind his other two teammates, Gae in 6th and Antoxic in 7th place at the moment. And Benjamin, Stig and Lauda at the moment really have similar paces, almost identical paces, because they are very close to each other. And even after Stig overtook Lauda, Lauda is still right in the back of the Ferrari.
Yes, yes, that's you said everything.
Yeah. Lap number 17. All drivers, all the first three drivers are lapping on the low 21. 21-0 for Nico, 21-6 for Stig, 21-4 for Lauda. Then now is very close.
We're going inside.
Oh, again, very close.
Again. Wow.
They almost touch again, and they both lock their wheels. But in the end, Lauda managed to get through.
Wow. Stig is really aggressive at the moment. He will try on
and
the
also Lauda,
maybe.
he defended very hard just to let Stig understand. Stig in the last moment on the inside. Wow.
I think Lauda hasn't lost any part of his front wing, luckily.
I don't think so. I think that
they
have no damage after that battle. But they lost time because now Nico is almost 4 seconds ahead.
Whoa.
Oh, such a great battle between them, but as I told before, that is costing them time on Nico, that now have almost 4 second differential on them too.
They lost time on Nico, but they also lost time on Gaetan and on Toxic. And of course Albon also. And maybe they should...
yes, sure.
Maybe they will pit... they will be behind them at the exit of the pit, and also they are still battling.
Well, actually...
Outside Lauda.
Oh, Lauda again! Oh, while TF1 Sainz is lapping on the mid-20s, so he's gaining almost half a second per lap on the leaders. More on Lauda and Stig that are fighting against each other at the moment. Let's see if Stig will try it again here at turn 5, but this time no. Oh no, this time it was too far yet.
But we never know with Stig. He already does it 2 times, so maybe short time is incoming before the end of the race.
Well, we'll see what's going to happen. Anyway, the race, it's still long. We still have 40 laps to go. It's lap number 19 of 33 here in Catalonia, Barcelona. It's the first race of the knockout phase of the 2019 Formula Europe Championship between TF1, Territorio F1, F1 Simu, and F1 Polish League. One of those 3 teams will go home at the end of this week, and only 2 will advance to the finals.
And
Lauda and Stig
goes into the pit at the same time.
And we will see what's gonna happen. It's while Albon, wait, look at this, 119.8. Albon sets the new fastest lap of the race. And Lauda and Stig, Albon is coming, crossing the finish line right now. It will be important for them to. Oh, they will be behind Gae maybe.
Again, he will be ahead of Stig. But
Gae maybe will be between them. Gae is between them. So we have Lauda, Gae, Stig, and then Antoxic right behind Stig. So it's a 4-car pack, but now, of course, Stig and Lauda will have another level of pace with soft tires.
They will. That's why Gae has to stay with them as much as he can, and with the tire degradation, he will maybe have the opportunity, but it will be tough for him.
We'll see what's gonna happen. 12 seconds between TF1 Nico and TF1 Sainz. While Wojtas is coming back into the pits, and Nico too.
Oh, and Stig goes in the inside
Stig
of
Gae. Again, a contact between them, hoping that they had no damage. He let through. He let through. He let Gae through, so he know he made a too dangerous maneuver and let Gae through. He give him back the position. While Nico is exiting right now, TF1 Albon is coming, and he is right behind Albon, but ahead of Lauda. But of course, Nico now will have the opportunity to have new soft tires on his car, and he's just 9/10 of a second from his teammate. Pretty sure he's gonna have a faster pace now. Oh, there's a yellow flag in sector 2. Oh, it's Mentos. It's Mentos, and he broke his front wing. Turn 9 again. Turn 9 again at the exit of turn 9. And it's Sainz incoming. Sainz incoming is going to lap him, and Mentos let him through. While CCJ have overtook Gae. There's again a yellow flag. Go again, Mentos.
And look. Autoxic is now 4 and Stick 6 and Gae.
Something happened there. Something happened there. Maybe Gae have made a mistake.
Or maybe they touch with Stick again. I don't know.
Ah, there's been a contact with Stig. There's been a contact between Stig and Gae.
Oh.
So TF1 Sainz leading with 11 laps to go. Oh no! That's a really bad situation for Stig, and as you can see, they are pulling a new front wing on the Ferrari, new sets of yellow soft tires, green light, and he go again, but now it's a tragedy. He's behind Kaizen in 10th place. That's a disaster.
It is a disaster because he was the best driver for F1 Polish team tonight.
Yeah.
And now he's behind Kaizen, which also means he's 14 seconds behind Wally Monster. So difficult night for F1 Polish team.
Both Nico and Lauda, of course, are coming on Albon. Just half a second between Albon and Nico, 1 second between Nico and Lauda. And one more thing we have to say about this knockout phase is that it's different from the other races, because now, before I told this thing, Nico goes on the inside of his teammate TF1 Albon, and he gets through for second place. So now he will see if we have the pace to gain 8.3 seconds on Sainz. We'll see what's going to happen. Of course, what I was saying before is that these two races of this week for the knockout phase are different, because all the three teams have no limits on the drivers, so they can. There's also the overtake of Lauda on Albon, and Lauda get through. There are no limits to the drivers. To the drivers, the team can use. The only rule is it's still that one driver can't do more than 2 races in a row. That's the only rule, but they are not gonna use any token, because for the ones who don't know, every driver during the entire championship have 3 tokens, and 1 token give the driver the opportunity to participate in 1 race. They also had some, every team had also 3 extra tokens during the qualification phase, so who ended just last week. So this time, the only rules they have to respect is the other driver can't race for 2 races in a row, but other way, they can use each driver they want to qualify for the finals. Lap number 24 out of 33, Sainz leading, and you can clearly see TF1 Nico is on fire. Oh, maybe a mistake by Kaisen. Yes. Yes, it was a mistake by Kaisen in the last chicane. Nico is flying.
Stick go, maybe.
Yes, pretty sure. Again, it's a yellow flag. Mentos. F1 PL Mentos still having some problems. Oof. He's really struggling. Anyway, Sainz is losing several tenths of a second per lap on Nico, who is already 6.5 seconds from the leader. Okay, it's clear now that the soft tires are working very well in this last phase of the race. TF1 Sainz completing lap number 24, setting a 1:21.0 compared to the 1:19.5 of Nico, who have gained 1.5 seconds to the leader in one lap.
And don't forget, Sainz was the first driver to pit. Also.
Yeah, he also had the just for one lap compared to Albon and 2 laps compared to Antoxic. He had 1 lap and 2 laps older tires than them. But I don't think that it will be a problem on medium tires there. The problem is usually when you are using the softer compounds, not exactly the soft tires, but for sure the super soft tires here. And no one have used the super soft tires as we see in these 25 laps. Now the situation got a little bit freeze because none of the drivers is in the DRS zone of another. We have a 5.7 seconds between Sainz and Nico, 2 seconds between Nico and Lauda, 2.5 seconds between Lauda and Albon, 5.2 seconds. Then we have Antoxic in 5th place with 6.6 on CCJ. Then we have 1.5 on Gae, 8.4 from Gae to Rally Mods, and then all the 4 Poland drivers. Benjamin, looking at the standings, the situation couldn't be much clearer than this because we have 4 TF1 drivers, then 4 F1 Simu drivers, and then 4 F1 Poland League drivers.
And just to be sure, one team can go on the final or on 2 teams? I don't remember.
2 teams. Only 1 team will be eliminated. So at the moment, F1 Polish League will be the eliminated team.
Oh.
Of course, we have another race on Thursday. It's race 2. It's going to be a 100% distance race. If I am not wrong, it's going to be in Bahrain. Maybe on the... You're right. Yeah, it's my memory is still not that bad. While Nico is still, of course, gaining on the sides, and now there are 4.6 seconds between them.
And it's also important to see the gap between Antoxic and Albon because
Albon have 9 seconds.
Yes, that's what I want him to win, and Antoxic has to keep the gap between the 9 second to goes into 4th place, and
we'll see what's gonna happen. Actually, Albon have a 5.5 seconds on Antoxic, and that means he still need 3.5 seconds to be safe and be in 4th place.
And we will have a situation soon, I think, because Stig is really closing on Rally Monster. He has gained 4 seconds in the last two laps.
Wow. A couple of seconds per lap gained by Stig, while Nico is really the fastest drivers on track at the moment. He's constantly lapping on the pace of the mid-19, high 19. All the others are on the mid-20. Even Lauda sets 20.2 in the last lap compared to the 19.8 of... There's a mistake by Albon, maybe? Yes, it's a mistake by Albon. Now he's almost 4.5 from Lauda, and he lost 1 second on Antoxic. Then now he's 4.4, so now he needs 4.5 seconds not 3.5 as we said before with this mistake. And Antoxic already gained another 0.3 of a second in the third sector. So after the mistake, Albon is still struggling with the tires. Maybe he pick up a little bit of dirty.
Well, probably, and also he really has some problem with his tires since the start of the race. So he has 40 laps on his tires now, and and again 3 seconds.
And now with 12 seconds, that's gonna be a problem because you have 4 seconds on Anton Sick and 11.5 on CCJ. But I do believe that Gae is faster than CCJ, and maybe he will pass his teammate. So maybe Gae will
let Gae pass because it's been a few laps since Gae has been behind, and now it's clear that he's faster.
And we'll see what they're gonna do while Sainz is closing his 28th lap of the race, setting a 120.2, while Nico 119.4. Lauda 19.6, 2 tenths lower than Nico, but also faster than Sainz. Now there are 3 seconds between TF1 Sainz and his teammate TF1 Nico, fighting for first and second place, of course, for the team ranking. That doesn't change anything if Sainz, Nico, Lauda, or whatever of them wins the race. Gae on CCJ now is very close, going on the inside at turn 1, and of course CCJ is not opposing any resistance on his teammate, and now we'll see what's gonna happen. Albon have 3.5 seconds on Antoxic, and Antoxic, it's still gaining some tenth of a second in the last few laps. Now there are 3.4 seconds between them. And now F1 Gae is 8 seconds from Antoxic, so that means that Albon have 11.5 seconds on Gae.
And maybe CCG will have an opportunity to be ahead of Albon also. CCJ.
If he will be able to stay on the same pace of Gae, maybe he will have this opportunity. While TF1 Sainz 20.2, or maybe Nico have made a mistake, 20.1. Oh, Lauda, much slower than before, 20.7. And actually, there are a little bit more clouds here on the circuit. But anyway, we have 4 laps to go. I don't think that any kind of rain is going to come from here till the end. Never say never, but I don't think so.
It will be difficult for CCJ. But I
Stig
guess they will make it. Oh, yes, you're right. Stig is right behind.
He's in the back of Rally Mons. So I'm pretty sure he will have the opportunity to attack him before the end of the race. Just 1 second between them. We'll see what's going to happen. While CCJ is maintaining the pace of Gae, that is also maintaining 8.0, 8.1 second on Antoxic. Also Antoxic is still there. Now Albon needs 3 or 4 tenths of a second to have the 12-second gap on CCJ. On F1 Gae.
And I think Gae is not aware of the number of penalty of Albon, because I think he can go much faster. But,
we will see, while Stig is very close to Rally Mons right now, but it's not able to make it into La Caixa. Oh, it was very close on the exit. Much slower is Rally Mons at the moment, while Nico is coming on the back of Sainz, 2.5 seconds between them. But let's see if Stig will be able to get through on F1 Simu Rally Mons.
I will.
Sure, he's much faster. He's already very close at the exit of the last corner with the DRS going on the inside for turn 1. I'm pretty sure he's gonna make it before the braking point, and yes, it is. Stig is up into 8th place at the moment, but now ahead of him it's a too much gap between him and CCJ, 13.3 seconds, while Antoxic is gaining on Albon, 2.9 seconds. Gae is also gaining on Antoxic, 7.7. And now there can also be the possibility for CCJ to overtake Albon at the end of the race with the 12-second time penalty that Albon had. That will maybe change something on the running order of the race, while Sainz have begun the penultimate lap of the race with 1.9 seconds on his teammate Nico. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. Oh, and it's Mentos again. Mentos, and it's at turn...
turn 11.
Yeah, it's in turn 11, turn 12, sorry. So this was really a nightmare race for Mentos. Oh, and there's rain! And there's rain!
Oh,
well, I told before, I was not expecting rain before the end, but now rain is coming, but it's sure that no one will return to the pits. So they will end the race with slick tires and some drops of rain that are coming on the track right now. But I don't think it's gonna be that bad for them.
well, they could still make some mistake, which will be very unfortunate. But
Antoxic is very close, less than 2 seconds from Albon. Albon has made another mistake at the exit of turn 9, of turn La Caixa. 1.7, Gae 7.9, and I do believe that now CCJ can already be ahead of Albon at the end of the race. He's less than 12 seconds from him, less than 12 seconds. For sure, because there are 9.5 seconds between Albon and Gae, and CCJ is right in the back of Gae.
well, you will have to not make any mistake during the lap, because at the moment he is ahead, and I think Albon will struggle a little with his tires and with the rain also. And Nico is just right behind Sainz at the moment, but I don't think he will go for an overtake.
TF1 Sainz on the last sector of the track, and on his last lap, few drops of rain coming, but the race is almost over for them. TF1 Sainz is about to win the race ahead of TF1 Nico and TF1 Lauda. But the one of the TF1 drivers who have struggled the most is Albon. TF1 Sainz win the Spanish Grand Prix, is in first place, and Nico is in second, and TF1 Lauda crossing the finish line right now in third place. But now we are waiting for the results of Albon. Antoxic is right behind. Albon is in fourth, down into fifth.
Oh, and
now
Gaeta has lost some time.
Oh, he lost some time, but I do believe he's going to be ahead anyway. And yes, both Gae and CCJ are ahead of TF1 Albon. So Albon closed the race from fourth that he was down into P7. F1 PL Stig closing 8th place. Such a shame for Stig. He was the fastest F1 PL drivers on track, but he was forced to pit due to a front wing damage. So Benjamin, your opinion on this race, your opinion on what we saw tonight?
Well, that was a very funny race at the start of the race, at least the 21st lap, but it was more calm at the end, but still a very nice race to see tonight. I really enjoyed it.
So we will see what the drivers will told us in the next few minutes. We have already invited all the 3 TF1 drivers who have entered the race on the podium, and now champagne for Sainz, Nico and Lauda, all TF1 drivers. It's been a very good race for Territory F1. So these are the final standings with the Sainz ahead of Nico Lauda and Toxic, Gae and CCJ for F1 Simu closing their race in P4, 5 and 6, then TF1 Albon in 7th, and then Stig in 8th, Rally Mods in 9th, Kaisen in 10th place, Voitas in 11th place, and F1 PL Mentos in 12th and last place. So we've already been joined by both TF1 Lauda and TF1 Nico. We are only waiting for the race winner, but before TF1 Science join us, I think it's time to ask something to Nico and Lauda. So of course we will start from the second drivers in the standings. So we start with Nico while Lauda has left the party. So Nico, how was your race? It's been a very good race for your team. You ended with 3 drivers on the podium. How was your race? How was your team race?
Hello, good night. Yes, this was a very nice race for the team. We made a very good result. We had a very good result, and well, that's all. It was a pretty boring race. That's
just
all.
Just because you were just fighting against your teammates. That's why.
Exactly.
So I saw both Sainz and Lauda come in, but they don't know if they lost the connection. Anyway, one more question for you. We'll see if they will be able to rejoin us. So at the end of this knockout phase, only one team will be eliminated, and I do believe that if nothing strange happened on the last race, your Territory F1 team have a great chance to go through this phase and reach the finals. What do you think?
I hope there is one race left and we have to race it, so that's all.
You're a man of few words.
Yeah, I have a few problems with the English too, so we hope we can do a good race on Bahrain.
And talking about the next race, you already told us that will be in Bahrain. How do you feel about the Bahrain circuit? Of course, we don't even know if you will race next Thursday in Bahrain, but how is for you this track? Are you do you have a good feeling with the Bahrain circuit, or no, or something else?
It's a pretty nice circuit. I don't think I will race because there is more people in the team that can race. So I hope that the one who race can do a good job.
Okay. Now TF1 Science is with us. Let's see if he can hear us. Science, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so talking with Nico, he told us it's been a boring race, but that was maybe just because you were just fighting with your teammates. You won the race, you had a great pace, of course. At the end, Nico was faster with the soft tires, but you managed well, and you really managed in a good way the first part of the race with the soft tires. You really had a good pace there.
Yes. First, I speak bad English, very bad.
Yeah. Maybe you can speak. Maybe if you wanted to say, want to speak Spaniard, maybe Nico can translate something, or don't know what you whatever you want.
Please no.
Okay.
But to be honest, I can speak Spanish also, so I can understand.
Okay. So Benjamin can help us. So Science, if you are in difficult with the English, we have Benjamin who can speak Spaniard, so you can speak in Spaniard if you want.
Ok. Bueno, hice la pole en la última vuelta de la clasificación y luego la carrera salí con gomas medias, las amarillas, que lo decidí con Nico porque él quería salir con duras para mantener a los de atrás. Y la carrera fue muy aburrida, solo había que seguir buen ritmo y en las últimas vueltas me quedé sin gomas y dijimos con Nico, bueno, hablamos con Nico y dijimos no atacarnos y bueno, también la victoria podría haber sido suya, pero bueno.
Okay, Benjamin, your time.
So
I understand it, but anyway.
You speak Spanish? Wonderful.
I don't speak Spanish, but I can understand it.
Okay, so Sainz made the pole lap on his last lap, and then he starts with the softer tires. He create a large gap on the first lap, and then it was a boring race for him, apart from the last lap when Nico was closing the gap between him. But yes, he still won, but it could have been Nico. Nico could have won. It would have been the same for him. That's it.
Okay. Speaking about the qualifying session, both of you two, and same as the other drivers, got a bad surprise at the end, as everybody went out with intermediate tires in the last few minutes, but just with 2 minutes left, the DRS was enabled, so that means you were allowed to use slick tires. So how was your reaction in that moment? If you, Nico or Sainz, the question is for both of you.
Can you repeat the question, please?
No, the question is you had a bad surprise in the last minutes of qualifying because all drivers went out in the last few minutes with intermediate tires, but in the last couple of minutes the DRS was enabled, so that means you can also go out with the slick tires. So yes, how was your how are your feelings at the moment?
The track was wet all the qualifying on the last minutes. The DRS was available, but there was no so many grips. So I think that the correct tire.
It was better to go intermediate.
Yes, it was the intermediate.
Sainz, you are of the same idea of your teammate, or you have something more to add?
I agree with Nico.
Simple. It couldn't be much simple. Okay, thank you guys. I think it's really all for tonight, but before we end the transmission, let me thanks of course the guys who's been with me tonight on commentary. So first of all, thanks to Benjamin Cole for being with me on commentary tonight.
It was my pleasure.
Of course, thanks to our broadcast director, Alessandro Pietracatella. Thank you so much, Alessandro.
Thank you.
And of course, also thanks to both TF1 Nico and TF1 Sainz for being with us tonight at the end of the race. Thank you so much, Nico. Thank you so much, Sainz. Also, thanks, Lauda, even if he's not there. Congratulations for the result.
Thanks.
Okay, so it's really everything for tonight. Next stop, next race, it's next Thursday in Bahrain. It's the second and last race of the knockout phase of the 2019 Formula Europe Championship. 100% race distance this Thursday. Stay there and be with us. Just wait for this race, because this is going to be the decisive one to decide which other two teams will reach the finals. We already have Formula Italian team, Formula Motorsport drivers there, along with, with Formula Nation. We will see what's going to happen. We already have 3 Italian teams there, but of course they surely going to be joined by 2 teams that are not coming from Italy. Will it be Poland team? Will it be Territorio F1? Or will it be F1 Simu? We'll see only at the end of this Thursday night race in Bahrain. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We'll see you next Thursday. Thank you so much. Good night. And God bless you guys.